Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel, where I look into what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rosie and Corina, exec investigators. Okay, so already today, in the last few days, we've been recording much later. Sometimes it happens that we are earlier, sometimes we're later, but today we're a little earlier. And there has been a whole lot of news already to cover. So there were things that we wanted to discuss from yesterday, but then so much has already popped up. So let's get started. Okay, so all right. Oh, share. Okay. All right. So let's see here. It's so interesting. I know there may be a way to look at this without the the interface. Okay, so Corey and I discussed other issues also. At first, this was not, I had placed it there, but since this is basically, I think the biggest news on everywhere, it's the fact that the South Korean president declared martial law, but the Congress has voted against it. And this is, FYI, this is the person who was going to be impeached, and the lawmakers are center left. So it sounds Trump at first. It sounds Trump-esque. Why? Because he's doing this to try to escape the law. And at first, it's not clear because we don't really know that much about South Korea. But the more you look into it, the likelier it is that let me just gonna share this, that it is not a good thing. Okay. So, right, because so the thing is, the talking points he used is that he accused the lawmakers of being on the side of North Korea. And in a country like South Korea, like it's right there, we know that North Korea sent troops to Putin. So the interesting thing is whether it sounds like it could be positive for Putin, because chaos in a Western, obviously Korea is aligned with South Korea is aligned with Western values and Western, let's say, scope of influence, to just say it. This, the fact that this happens now, it seems very like, it's like, oh, okay, really? It's like just what Putin ordered, right? It looks like. Oh, but let's see. He's declared emergency martial law, which he says is necessary to protect the country from North Korea's communist forces and to eliminate anti-state elements. By the way, he apparently had tried to do a coup. It failed using the military. So, okay, so what is I guess the question is, obviously we don't know enough about South Korea, but the question is, and I'll say, okay, pause. I know sometimes I don't finish. People say, Rosie, please finish the sentence. I'm going to try to do that, not let 50 thoughts come in at first. Okay. So, having said that, what we need here to know, what is relevant to us, broadly speaking, is one, the bizarre, but that very fascinating, I think, astrology connection. Because as the astrologers, we're not astrologers, but as the astrologers have been mentioning, there's all these events that could happen. And this is yet another country where something dramatic is happening, right? Related to politics. So, and elections, right? In the sense that he wants to take over power.
Right.
So this is the question. The question is, is this related to our situation, in the sense that is this somehow connected to Putin, or is just this person sees an opportunity and decides to move on it, and what's going to be the outcome of it? Okay.
Okay.
So oh, protection. Let me do protection.
Yes, protection. Sorry.
Okay, no, I'd like to ask for protection. Beautiful wave of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out a greater circle, like greater circle. Step into it, I step into it, I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that create the good and only the good. And so, okay. So what's the story here about what's going on in South Korea? Okay, what's this? And is this within Putin's sphere of influence, and what's the outcome?
Mhm.
So, okay, so can I tell you
Yeah,
what
go ahead.
when
Go
I
ahead.
it's interesting sometimes the visions are kind of clear. So it just shows me this guy. I don't know what he looks like, or I've never seen his picture. You know what? Hold on, let me see if because I saw this face. He looks kind of like a scientist or like a madman with this TV screens. He's looking at the TV screens, and then I see that he sees that, oh, this thing is happening all over the world. It's like almost like he has a remote control. He's skipping the channels. And then he's like, okay, now this is the time. Let's do it. Let's do it. And it's like, oh, there is, be careful out there. There's
Mhm.
all over. No, you have to trust me. There's communists. They want to take over. Whoa, whoa. I know who you are. You're communists. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm. Whoa, 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 whoa. So so that he is kind of he knows he's about to be impeached, or
Mhm.
there were threats of him being impeached, and he sees what's going on with Trump. He sees the US is kind of wavering from his perspective. It's a lame duck presidency. And so he's like, oh, this is my time too. Listen, trust me, trust me. People are weird out there. Whoa. So that's what I get, that
Yeah.
he the propaganda thing, and he knows, and it because I had talked to somebody who was I talked to about Israel a lot, and I had told her this is I was like, oh, it's very Bibi like to try to create a situation like this to stay in power.
Mhm.
And indeed that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
So but let's just see before I and then you say, but just the last part is whether what's going to happen there. Is he going to stay, or is he going to go? What's going to happen? No, I see that he's like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then all the people go into the stage and push him out.
Push them
So
out.
no, I don't see it continuing. I don't see him succeeding in this thing. Okay, so that's just go ahead now, Corina.
Yeah. No, actually that was the same thing. So I don't really need to repeat it. Personally, I didn't see the connection. I saw it more like you did, where it was an opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
see it. No, go ahead.
yeah, Putin was sitting on a couch, but he had his back to him, and there
Mm,
was no line or anything connecting the two in that moment. So
mhm,
I think it was like you just said, it was an opportunity, and he
mhm,
jumped on it.
mhm. And
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
let me know when you're done,
Yeah,
Corina.
I'm done.
To interrupt
I'm
you. Okay.
done.
So just something else I had seen is that I looked to see is this Putin's thing, and I saw that Putin's like, oh, look at that. Fascinating. I don't think he, so in other words, I did not pick up that he was involved in
Mhm.
this, and that he was like, oh, how lucky he thinks. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
fascinating. That's all. I don't see that. I don't think that he cares too much either way. It's just, I don't think he's involved. So, and this guy is just kind of like a madman, really, taking
yeah.
advantage of the time and modeling himself in Trump in a way in terms of like the drama and the like his histrionics, and
Hmm.
and I see that and I see again that the people there and lawmakers and the civil society, they're going to step on stage and just remove him because it's crazy. That's what I got about him. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, so
people are tired of this all over the world.
that's right.
Time to
So
remove these
mhm,
guys, these
mhm,
bad men.
that's right. That's right. So uh yeah, Verna, is that right?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and I see it just came to me here because I was curious about. I was like, what I was trying to like, funny. Like they think it's hilarious, but I don't think. No, it's like what a joke. Like the West, these the West fell for these clowns, and now
Hmm.
they're showing who they are. The clown
Exactly.
or clownery. Okay, so interesting. All right,
Yeah.
so let's go back here. So we covered that number one of many issues. Okay,
But
now
you know
I,
what? You're
I
right. It just kind of can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we end up doing that. We start talking at the same time. It did just come to me. I did see a line with the astrology, though. Like
Right.
how explosive things are going to be all over the world that we didn't even expect.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just kind of came out of nowhere.
But it
Yeah.
feels like when we're and I'm sure this probably sounds like what you saw, that what I see is that he was like, it's like he saw there's something that love was in the air, like there's something in the air. It's like, oh, it's the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the astrology, like they can feel it. They know that this is the right time for them. So
Right.
so
Exactly.
okay. So now let's look at my boyfriend. Just kidding. My boyfriend, Mark. Jack, there's
My
things very
boyfriend's back and he's gonna cause some
lovely.
trouble.
Hey, love. My boyfriend's back.
Good trouble. Good trouble.
No, no, of course not. No, not true. Not true. No, it
No.
is, of course, but just say. So, Corina, I know I was, so I was talking to Corina about the process of gathering all the news, and I said, oh, let me just go into Twitter, even though we have Leon, aka Elonia, Philonia, some people call it Philonia. So, and then so I went and I saw this. It's a 40 seconds. So it's very, I find it double click to interact. So
Yeah.
let's go there and
Especially
then
since it was only 6 hours ago, I think.
right.
Yeah.
So
Let's then.
so I share it again so you can see him on here with you. Okay, so let's see. And I'll start from the beginning.
Over the past years, Russia and also China have tried to destabilize our nations with acts of sabotage, cyber attacks, and energy blackmail to intimidate us. None of these actions will deter us from supporting Ukraine or making our own defenses stronger. NATO allies will continue to stand together to face these threats through a range of measures, including greater intelligence sharing and better protection of our critical infrastructure.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you. So
over the past years,
okay, so okay, so stop share, go back to the so this is how we start here with I was asking Corina, do we include this or not? And she said, it's a supportive statement to what we're seeing, right? And she said, right, Corina, go ahead, and what you were saying earlier, that why would he the fact that
why would he keep coming out and making these statements over and over? It's a clear sign to me that they're getting ready to do something, because otherwise, like I said earlier, it's like the parent constantly telling the child, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. They don't ever do anything to discipline the child. You can't do that in a situation like this. They're saying it because action's about to be taken.
That's right. So this is interesting. And then I was also telling Corina that I subscribed to now, just probably for a month or two, Financial Times, and they have had these articles. More NATO chief warns Donald Trump of dire threat to U.S. if Ukraine pushed into bad peace deal. So it's interesting again that I don't follow a lot of nowadays. I don't really watch the news anymore. I don't go for the traditional news anymore, right? Because it's like they don't never share that, right?
No,
but this interview is fascinating because remember how we saw that he would push Trump. He met with Trump and he pushed him. So, okay, hold on a sec. Oh, that's right. So I'm going to open it here so you can see the article, because that kind of goes back to, okay, all right. NATO chief, which it says risk to America will increase if China, Russia, and North Korea are empowered.
Yeah. Can't let that happen.
So now here is, and so it's interesting. We had seen him sort of confronting Trump in his own way, but even the language there, you could see he is not waiting. He's not like, oh, I wonder what. No, it's like you cannot have a situation where Kim Jong-un and the Russian leader and Xi Jinping and Iran high-fiving because we came to a deal which is not good for Ukraine, because long term that will be a dire security threat not only to Europe but also to the US. So he's being very, very I'd say dominant, right? And about this. And so he's not waiting. He's not like, oh, are you gonna be okay? Are you happy? Right?
Yeah,
So
no,
so he's saying to Trump, like, it's like he's basically ignoring the fact that not it's like when he speaks to Trump, he makes the assumption that, well, you care about the US interest, don't you? Even though we
mhm,
right? So
yeah,
mhm. So okay.
very clear and
Oh, look,
concise.
look, Karina. So this is interesting. This is oh tomorrow probably, right? Rutte will chair a meeting of NATO foreign ministers in Brussels on Tuesday, where Ukraine's top diplomat has called for the country to be given a formal invitation to join the alliance, something the US and Germany have rolled out in the near future. Like, come on. So actually, let's look into this, Karina. The meeting,
Okay,
the foreign ministers meeting of NATO in Brussels, and Rutte's statements in public. Okay, so what's going on with Rutte making these statements, and what's going on with the foreign ministers meeting in Brussels? Well, okay, so immediately I see that it's true. He is going to push for Ukraine to be invited. Because really, what is the point anymore, right? To pretend.
hmm,
And I see
yeah,
there's shock. But this is right. It's saying it's coming to a head. And it's saying this is, and Quinn, I'm getting this very much, and you got it too about him, right? He's a
yeah.
he's he's taking the aggressive route now. He's like, bitch,
He's the pit bull.
know what you're about. We know what you're about.
Hmm.
You're messing around my neighborhood. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen next. Right? So that's it. Like he's not like, oh, he doesn't mean it. Oh, he's like, oh, it's okay. Let's not make them mad. Like, okay, you made us mad now. So
Yeah,
it's saying, so I see that he's decided that let's stop with this culture of fear, where everything we do, we have to walk on eggshells. So what?
exactly.
Afraid of it, just do it. Because they're not, it's true. They're not waiting on, they're not, oh, is the US gonna be okay with that? Should we ask them?
Yeah,
They're just
no,
doing it. And we know, and I see that he's like, if things are allowed to go, if nothing is done to stop it, then Trump is gonna take power, and where are we gonna be? Do we want a
yeah,
world like that? No. And I see that he's very much in private, and now more and more in public. He's saying, my job is to protect the alliance. That means we have
right.
to do something. We don't just talk, we do something.
Hmm.
So, right? So go ahead,
Hmm.
Brenda. You pick up.
No, he's getting ready to do something.
And
There's not no more messing around.
I see that there's a kind of like a shot. Oh, wow, like something like that. He introduces that because he's not afraid. It's like, let's just do it. Let's force their hand. It's saying force their hand. Make them,
Yes.
really. Let's go for it then. Let's have
Yeah.
a confrontation because he's like, it's ever since the airplane situation. I've been seeing the same people all around the neighborhood. It's always them, isn't it? Time
Yeah.
to get them out of here. Time to get
Yeah.
motherfuckers out of here. So
Exactly. And why do the good guys always have to walk on the eggshells?
okay,
The
that's
bad
right.
guys don't. It's
That's
like I'm
right.
tired of that BS.
And this goes back to the whole yesterday, the conversation about, how some of the people ridiculous. Oh, Biden, we should not have pardoned Hunter because it's like those people have no rules. And you're acting like you have to be some sort of Mother Teresa. It's not how it works. They're breaking the rules. They're investigating him because this is a totally unjustified investigation anyway. So don't fall for it.
Right.
So okay.
Exactly. Look at all the
So
people Trump pardoned. None of those were good guys.
so
I mean, come on. A Michael
okay.
Flynn, really?
Oh my God.
So,
So okay, so great. So this is good. Yes. And something else that Karina mentioned that now I think we just to confirm, because by the way, I noticed yesterday's comments from yesterday to today, even the ones I haven't had a chance to approve and so forth. People are happy with the stuff because for us, to be fair, to be honest, guys, sometimes we see it, right? And we don't feel like we have to repeat it because we kind of see it, right?
mhm,
So, but we realize now that for you want that hope, really, for lack of a better word. So this is why it's good also to kind of check on stuff like this because I think it's another uh plus for on our
mhm.
side, right?
Right.
So, so this is a question. Corina had touched on this earlier, saying that she thinks that because Rutte is talking this way, he has plans. So again, let's check in. How are the plans going? Are they doing something about it soon? Do they have plans? Are they waiting for something? What's going on with the actual actions of NATO in defensive
Right.
action? So okay, let's look into that. What's going on with NATO today? Do they have
I'm a
plans?
little nervous.
Really?
Yeah, I just got a little nervous.
Oh, it's
It's one
okay.
of those nervous
Okay, the two of us.
excitement things.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, Rutte, what's going on? What are they doing? What's going on? Are they doing something? Is NATO moving on the Russia thing, or he's just talking, or what are the actions going on behind? Are preparing for actions?
Mapping everything out.
Yeah. I see. So I
Yeah.
see that there's a person. I've never been to any military academy or anything, but it shows that there's a man with a shaved head, like pointing with a little stick thing,
Yeah.
here's what
Mhm.
here's the road of this is this country, the air defense, and this and that there. And I think it's missiles. It shows me these missiles being transported from one place. They're moving. Oh, but isn't there there's a missile thing in Poland. I remember reading about it.
Mhm.
They're moving. Okay, they're moving. That tells me they're moving towards offensive positions with the expectations that something's going to happen soon. Yes.
Right. Right.
So they're preparing. Yes, they're preparing
Yeah.
for.
I
That's
saw
right.
the same thing. I saw, like, how you like blueprints for a house. It was all laid out, and they were mapping things out.
Wow, and I get more. So I got this also that I see the image of Rutte making these statements publicly, and them knowing that, you know what, it's time for us to kind of almost call them out and see kind of, when you want to catch the coyote at night,
Yeah. Yeah.
to kind of
Yeah.
like, let's put a trap out there and
We're
see
gonna
if
put the
they fall
sheep
for it.
out.
That's right. So let's see if they fall for it, because we're ready. We're not going to be like, oh, let's change the tactic. Instead of playing by their game, like, oh, they're going to threaten, they're going to do this, which is a game they got used to for too long. Now we're going to have a different tactic. We're going to say
Mhm.
the things that they claim to be upset about, and let's see how
Mhm.
they act. Because we've
Mhm.
had enough. We're saying we've had enough of this. Hasn't worked.
Right.
This strategy has not worked to deter them. So let's change tactic. And that's it. He's ready.
Yeah.
I
They're
see
gonna
it.
flip the script.
And it
Yep.
feels good. It really does feel good, honestly. It feels good
Mhm.
to me. What they're doing, it doesn't seem, it's not rash. It's not rash. It's not is that right? Not rash. Rash.
Yeah, not rash. No, that's
Right.
very detailed in their plans.
Right. That's right. So
Yeah. And down to precise timing. And I think that's the hardest part to look at, because we can't determine that precise timing. Only they can, because
yes.
they're the ones carrying it out. So, it
So
does have to come
yeah.
down to precise timing.
Yeah, I get we're moving to an offensive position. That's what I'm getting. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right. So we covered this. Now this is interesting. Let's go to Finland. So I have some followers, community members,
Mhm.
a Scandinavian country. So they send me news. So early this morning when I woke up, I saw this email from someone saying that the cables have been cut in Finland. So two more cables. But then when I went to look up the news just to see what's right, because usually what happens is I get these news that a lot of times they're not even covered in the not Western, English speaking,
Yeah.
because they are Western, of course, English speaking newspapers. But in this case, it was in the BBC and such. But what's interesting about it is that according to the Finland government, it appears to be an accident. And I'm like, okay, Corinne and I'm like, okay, really? At this day and age, it's an accident. I mean, who knows? I just find it hard to believe, even if it was like it could have been made to look like. Does this make sense, Corinne? I just like, really?
Yes.
Accident? An
Yes.
accident for real. So what could be, but let's see what's going on with this Finland situation. So let's see. Okay, the transport agency. Let me just check. Okay, so stop share. and share again. So we go to the BBC's page here. So damaged cables appear to be accident, Finland says. Okay. Oh, they have been repaired. Finland's transport agency, the fiber optic cables connecting Finland and Sweden appear to have been cut accidentally. Both cables appear to have been cut during construction work. Adding the cables have been repaired. Okay, they have been caused by excavation work. So let's see. Is this true? Is this true? Okay, was it
Yes.
true? All right, so tell me, what happened to these cables that were cut? Were they cut by sabotage or not? How does it? So was it foul play or?
Yeah. Do you see construction crews in the area?
Yeah, I see a lot of people working on it. It's true.
Yeah.
With their, because it's with their scuba diving thing, whatever you call it, because it has
I'm trying to see if there's like a ship in the area because I see construction crews, but I don't see anything.
Well, they
So
have,
what
it's
do you see?
well, it's under the sea, right? So they're there fixing something. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. But I don't see it different. I do agree that it looks like I see these people. I don't see anything because before it was just a anchor that caused it. Nobody had to be, right? So I see again, there's people, but I also see what's okay. I guess I should say when I see detail, I should share it, right? So
Yeah.
I see that how when you open a tiny cable of anything, there's like tons of micro little cables inside one cable, like a computer thing. So similarly, there's hundreds, I don't know how many of them. Like it's not just one big sausage thing. It's like tons of little sausages together, mashed together. So I see that as they were doing that, then some of them were disrupted, the little ones. And so now, so I see that it's also that there's also like all these like duct tape type of, like it's saying that to me, it shows that these cables are actually quite what is the word? Frail. Like
unstable. Unstable, frail.
they're not, it's not like there's like a steel armor or something like protecting it. Is that it's it's like imagine if you trip on a like your own computer cable. It will unplug from the wall, but it's like that. Like if you does make sense. And after a while, if a cable had been trampled on a few times, it's gonna be thin and breaking, and that's what it feels like to me. That this is these optic cables are pretty old to begin with, and they actually need to be redone or repaired or whatever. So it's not in great condition. So it's possible that it is true. So I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's true because that's right, they were repairing it, but I see that there's all these like extra tape and kind of like I was gonna say DIY, but it's not because you can't just go
exactly.
Hey, I got a cable. I'm just gonna type it in, tape it together. Don't worry about it. I'll just go grab it on my phone. I'll put it in there. No.
Exactly, because I saw a Band-Aid.
That's right. Something like this, right? So, but it's saying that it's okay. It's just, but it goes to show how sensitive it's saying. It's very sensitive, very delicate. These things are delicate. And it's saying, but don't worry about it because nobody's gonna go. It's a kind of place in the sea that nobody just randomly stops by over there. Like, hi,
good.
to see Finland. It's minus 100 degrees. It's very. I'm just hanging out over here. Hey,
we're gonna drop anchor.
Yeah, that's right. Or imagine going down. It's saying even having the skill set to go down and dive in. Nobody does that. Oh, and I see even that there's like there's like submarines that have like how doctors do operations where it's like almost like these automated machines that are human operated, but the human is inside the capsule, so they don't have to go out. So it's just that it's saying that because that's the situation. So good news at least, right? This is good, right?
Yes, that is good news.
Okay, so now let's go to other information. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Now this is from the it was from the Finland newspaper that everybody over there in these countries, and this is again true from all the people that we hear from. They say that over there, and even by the way, Corina, I didn't even share one time I saw this article that Finland is training women to fight in case of a Russian invasion or something like that. So it's kind of interesting. Like they're preparing for it. They're not thinking that it's just far away.
Right.
Anyway, so that's that. Now let's move to the strange piece of news here that Donald Trump is going. So yesterday we had talked about I had linked to someone's statement that Trump, oh, how odd that Trump hadn't left Mar-a-Lago in a long time. And I remember even someone mentioned, oh, but isn't he going to France or something? And then again today I saw this, that Trump is going to the reopening of Notre Dame in Paris. Now that is a very strange, I find it, Corina agrees, of course, not of course, but right, we talked about it. And it's so bizarre because first of all, he has no connection to French culture. Let's just say it, right? No. And he's not Catholic. And also, not that you have to be Catholic to go, but in Notre Dame, like I don't know if if it's right in the center of Paris.
Yep, been there.
And right, but right, it's just it doesn't make, it's so strange. It seems strange.
Yeah.
And I have to say, so as I was reading this, I remember very clearly that, guys, I don't know when this was, but I remember when, so there's the news about the reopening of the Notre Dame there, where there's for apparently up to 2,000 artisans have been brought back from how do you say it, like skills or industries that were gone. Like people didn't know, the people who know how to fix these things, they don't exist anymore almost. Only a few left. So they all had to be recruited to do this amazing work because it's such an important church in this center. It's right in the middle of Paris, right? So
Right.
what I wanted to say about this is that I remember when there was a fire that happened not too long ago. And I remember at the time, I remember doing a reading on this and thinking that this was sabotage. So the fact that, to me, and I remember that I remember when there was like these things happening in France. I don't know if they're still happening, but it was like the yellow jackets, the whole thing that seemed a little like somewhat connected to Russia. I remember thinking, and now, not to be a conspiracy theorist, but what the hell is Trump doing there at this
Yes.
time? And considering his health, so it seems strange. And then just to tell you guys, and then we're going to look into it, just to tell you more contextual information. So we know that last year at some point there was the elections for Macron, and I remember very well that she was high in the polls. This woman, Marie Le Pen, her name is. She was very high in the polls, and suddenly all the parties came together to go against her. Everybody connected, all the parties connected and made a block to prevent her from winning, and it worked out until it didn't. And I remember reading at the time that there was a risk that the government could fall apart, and that's what they're doing now. And by the way, this woman is beyond the scope of today's conversation, but at the same time, she's also under she's been I think condemned, or there's a process against her by the government. She was indicted for taking money, election money, something like that, some sort of financial irregularity that I don't know if she's going to go to prison or what, but it's all connected, right? And
Right.
somehow Trump, going back here to Trump going to Notre Dame. And the thing to note, when I was seeing this, I was like, oh, let's look into, because here you could see it's written very small here. The date of the article is December 2nd, which is yesterday. And so the trip, I read through it, it's scheduled for the 7th, Saturday, December 7th. That's when this happens, the reopening. So, and then we thought of like all the astrology stuff pointing to something happening between the 5th and the 7th, right, Corina? At least beginnings of the situation. So all of this background information to ask, what the hell is Trump going to do in Notre Dame in Paris? Why is he going to France then? Okay, let's ask.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Why is he going to France? Okay, so Corina, I'll just say something because it doesn't make much sense to me what I'm seeing. It's just simple. It's not
Okay.
expected. I
Yeah.
see the image of Elon Musk flying on, you know, those little airplanes, like old school airplanes, like he's
Hmm.
he's on his airplane, yo, and then Trump was on. So I don't know. And then I thought to myself, is this the image of when we saw that Elon Musk could get caught, or for some reason it's connected to Elon Musk? I don't understand why. What the hell is going on? So if you
Yeah.
have anything to tell me about this, you know,
I couldn't
yeah.
get any farther than an airplane. I couldn't even get the airplane going to France.
Hmm.
Like all I could get was him getting on an airplane.
Trump,
And
right?
nothing, yes, and nothing happened after that. Like I couldn't progress any further. So that's interesting. So let me kind of just, now that you said that about Musk, because I did get I got a chill on that when you said that. Yeah, I get the same thing like you. He's Trump. You know what? I don't think we're meant to see anything. I
Mm.
get just this blank space. Like, enough. I don't know. I'm not getting anything beyond him getting on a plane. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and I see again Elon Musk having a conversation and then hanging up the phone. Okay, okay, boom. And I see that for some reason it's almost like, is it orchestrated by Elon Musk? I don't know, but that's what I see. And then Trump. So is it saying wait and see? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I guess we can ask this question, Courtney, because maybe this is the underlying assumption
The elephant in the room.
that, or maybe I say expectation. You know how I had seen the image of Elon Musk getting caught before.
Hmm.
So is it time? For some reason, I feel like no, it's too early. It's not yet the time. But
No,
what is it? Is a so tell me what is going on here. What is it? Why? Is there a reason? What's going on? So why is he going to France? Is he going to France?
I still don't get anything.
And then I see Putin in the background kind of planning something, but not, you know what I feel like it could also be a distraction move for something else to happen elsewhere and Trump to be away. Does it make sense? So
Hmm.
I feel like I did not get anything. I don't feel like
Yeah,
it, right? It's like
I
you,
know. Maybe we're not meant to see it. Maybe
hmm?
we're not meant to see it because nothing, when I see a blank space like that, it's like, and nothing, not a thought, not a feeling, not an image, nothing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I say there's more. I'd say it tells me this. There's more to come. I'm getting weight, and then more is more to come. That's what I'm.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Like
okay.
we might come back to covering this.
That's right. So I don't know exactly, but that's what I got. Okay. So
Yeah.
and
Well, at least we're both on the same page.
that's right. So we'll see. It is weird. Okay. So
It's weird.
let's just ask about her, Marine Le Pen. Uh, mm, so let's ask, what is this related? Let's see, what does Marine Le Pen think? Does she know of Trump's visit? Is it related? Marine Le Pen, what's going on with her? I see the money transfer. Okay. She's told that Trump is gonna be there. Okay. But nothing. No, I don't get much. Is she going? Okay. Is the government of France, because we know that Putin is targeting Germany and France because they're openly being more and more pro-Ukraine.
Right.
So this is by the way, is Macron's government in danger somehow, or is it going to be okay, Macron?
I think he's going to be okay.
Mm, okay. So yeah, I got something also related to Mark Rutte in the sense that he's taking now the same approach. Before
Mhm.
they were like trying to appease or trying to like, oh, maybe let's not upset him, but now he's like, let's just do it. It doesn't work to appease them. Let's take
Exactly.
a more aggressive role. And that's what I see. And it works. It seems to work. They just
Yeah,
have to confront it. Okay.
right.
Okay. So
Everybody's finally standing up.
yeah. Okay, now, okay, weird. Okay, so
Oh my gosh, this guy.
this is a strange, interesting because the article was before it changed the format. It's kind of strange. I find it interesting. So apparently local news over there in Romania. Let's see here. Is it still on? It's saying that RFK Jr. is going to weird. It's not okay. Is it loading? Oh yes, it is. Okay, 1 second. So what is going on here? Are they really going to all right, so I share.
Man, that guy's not right.
Okay, so RFK to me, Romanian presidential front runner. Okay, so next week, that's like this week, I guess.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen?
This
What
week.
the hell? And by the way, guys, I know somebody asked me about him before. I don't know if you're not super familiar with the players, like everybody that has been or connected to is very, very connected to the Putin thing. So he's
Mhm.
to me 100% a Russian influenced asset, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. So now so what the hell is he doing there? What is his story? Let's see. Is he going to be there? The same interesting that RFK is supposed to go to Romania, I guess this week at some point.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
we have Trump in France. But what the hell is it going to happen? What is he doing there in Romania? Weird. Okay, Corina, I got something weird actually.
This
Okay,
is
so I
really
saw
weird.
I
Go.
saw a small plane again image, and then there's a turbulence in the plane, and it goes down the plane of RFK Jr. But I saw that the goal is to legitimize, is to say, oh look, here this man from America, from the Kennedy family, comes here, and therefore it's a thing, it's real. But does it even? I don't know that he goes, or that
Oh,
he doesn't. Do you see anything, Corinna? It's so weird. It's somehow it feels like it's related to this Trump thing. I don't know why. This visit to France.
oh, it does. It
Pick up
does feel like it's related. Absolutely.
you pick up anything?
When when you talked about does he make it there, I kind of went into this rolling chill. I don't know about that one. But if he did get there, it's almost like I feel like they're talking like, okay, is the fix on? Are we good? Is this going to work over here now that all this is going on? And you know, it's about the same thing with the election.
Mm.
So that's what the conversation would be about. But
So okay, so
I get a really bad feeling.
okay. What do you mean by bad feeling? Can you explain more? Talk more. Explain. What do you mean? Bad feeling.
When you said the plane might not make it there, didn't
Mm.
you say the plane? You saw it kind of going down.
Mhm.
I got rolling chills in my body on that.
Mm.
So whether it's metaphorical or
Okay. Okay.
not, I
So
don't know if he quite makes it there.
okay, so I have to tell you something kind of interesting. It is related, but not unrelated, but related. Because I kind of feel like okay, so some of you may or may not know that I like crystals. Corina is the crystals person, I would say, right? Well, she is the one who also introduced me really to crystals. A long story. One day
Mhm.
we'll have conversations about it. But really, so I have a little bag. I don't carry too many, but I have this one's called Lapidolite. Like you can't see it that there's like you can see when there's if you move it around,
Mhm.
there's like this shininess. And
Yep.
this is like a really flat disc of it. Okay, so it's funny. I've been associating this stone with what's going on now with this whole election thing because to me it's a stone of this like far away distance satellite outer space. Like there's something
Mhm.
about darkness, dark shield that comes and goes, eclipse-like effect. And for some reason, I got this kind of like urge to touch the lipidol, not, it's
The
not
pineal,
lipidol. What is it called, Corinna?
labradorite,
Labradorite.
labradorite,
That's right. It's all labradorite.
labradorite. Yeah, I know it's hard to say.
Labradorite, like Labrador,
Yeah.
the Labradorite.
Yeah.
Okay. So so anyway, so then I got this urge to say, so then what I'm understanding here, and always like, it's a long story about this relationship with the crystals. You can ask also the crystals questions and such, and there's a kind of a communication, like a vibrational
Mm-hmm.
element to this, and this feeling that I get with the Labradorite and the situation is that all, what is it? All that is not, all is not what it seems, number one. And that there is like this shield, like like an eclipse, when something is shown and hidden at the same time. And
Mhm.
then I saw the images that we're seeing, Corinna, about the airplanes is metaphorical. I saw, and that we're not, it's like we're not supposed to know, but it
Mhm.
has to do with this shift that things could really change.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
does it make sense? Like, that's what I'm
Mhm.
understanding. It's not necessarily that, like, oh, the airplane, or is that there's a plan of theirs that there's a chance that it's not going to come to pass, but something they are planning.
Right.
What I understand, and we're not supposed to. Why? Okay, let me ask. Why are we not supposed to know this? Okay, we
It,
go ahead.
it's exactly. I get it. It's showing me to a certain date,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't see beyond that. But I also get the hand. Just be patient. We're taking you day by day.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So
Okay.
we're in a time where we can't know too much ahead of time.
That's right. So
Yeah, and
oh,
let's see that how it's very deep. It's the you can see how deep those colors go. It's kind of like the Milky Way. It's obscure. It's kind of all those things where things are really obscure right now.
okay. So
Yeah.
and I see, it shows me this, that Rosie, it's sort of like a person. It's like when you make a plan, like making plans with someone, like, oh, let's maybe try to go to this place, but you're waiting on like hearing something from somebody else, or a family commitment, something where you can't quite give the answer yet. And it's saying something along those lines is what's happening. That's why
Mhm.
we can't, doesn't make sense. So there's like, obviously there's a lot, multiple things happening at the same time, but
Right.
they're happening.
Hmm.
We'll have an answer. And it tells me in 2 or 3 days, you have an answer to your question. You'll find out.
Yes.
So, wow. And then I see, again, it seems very, it's unclear to me in terms of like, it's not telling me. Then I see something in the image of Trump, like, oh, wow. We're shocked. Something about Trump. They're shocked. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, it could be the report, right? The
Oh, yeah.
report and everything. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I'm getting the word very obscure. Like things just are so different than what we think they're going to be.
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know I keep getting this just element of surprise, and just, oh my god, I didn't expect that, or I didn't see that coming, or you know and I also, how I always get the coin flip, like and I heard earlier too, the script has been flipped.
Mhm.
It's those elements that are taking hold right now, and we're not meant to see that right yet, people. It's okay. We'll keep getting information every day,
Mhm.
but it only takes me to a certain point, and then it's like, no. And for both of us to get that, you
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
that's pretty interesting.
Okay. So now this is, so then moving on, but similar, it feels like we're kind of always around the same subject that are so right, like,
Yeah.
so okay, so now we have this, okay, so let me actually I'm opening the news here and then sharing, just going straight to the page. So as I was saying earlier today, as we started, I go on the Twitter thing to see some accounts, and they were sharing some accounts to trust this. And what's interesting is that when I went to look for this person, Nama Zarubina, her name is, um, there is nothing in any US newspaper, even though this happened here. It's on a Radio Free Europe, it's on some Russian websites that are not pro-Putin, they're based outside of Russia. So it's kind of interesting, right? That it's so bizarre that all this stuff is happening and none of it is on the news. It's one of the news is like, oh, such as Trump said this and that. Don Jr. is doing this. It's like, wow.
Trying to
So
normalize
okay.
everything.
So here it is. Okay, so Noma Zarubina has been arrested on possible charges of providing false information to U.S. law enforcement and maintaining connection with Russian intelligence services, linking her to another suspected spy who fled the United States while being pursued by authorities. So there's a whole story, okay, so about her and how she, okay, okay, so a long story, but the point, okay, here it is. Okay, that's right. So there was another woman, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know that I even looked into it publicly. It was a woman who had been arrested also there's all these think tanks that tend to push pro-Russia, pro-Putin positions, and they are staffed by intelligence officers pretending to be like regular people.
Right.
So then this woman, so she's connected to her, Zarubina. I not know her. I was only working. I have interest in a Russian position. I went to think tank. I was there, think tank. We had the conversation. No, we have not. We had to start her once.
Yeah.
What are you asking? I saw this woman once and he come to me my face saying, no, you did the Russophilia, right? No, Russophobia. I have to explain here. This country full of Russophobia. I have prejudice against self because I have a Russian passport. I experience on my skin, I experience Russophobia. People against the interest of Russia Federation. So really like, right? So it's kind of like, no, Russophilia is when you like Russia, you're obsessed with Russia. No, Russophobia is when you know like.
Yeah.
So so anyway, so she's been released. Okay, interesting. Zarubina has been released on $25,000 bail with restrictions barring her from leaving New York. Contacting no, me no speaking Russia. No speaking no Russian officials. No, me no knowing nobody. No. No. I never speak Russian. Never. Never. So 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 okay, so then so the whole thing really is that the point of this is to say that there's an active operation is an understatement, right? There's
Yeah. You think?
interesting, no? Quite interesting.
Yeah.
And then, but it's good because it shows that the government is actively looking into those people, right? So,
Hmm.
what is up with? So, I guess just looking, what does this mean? I mean, what is just look into it quickly? What does this tell us that the fact that there's someone she's there saying? Oh, I see that I see a chain. It shows me a chain, but a link in a chain. So,
Hmm.
so like a bead necklace or something, the same
Right.
tiny bead that connect. They're all connected, and they're saying they're following the leads. They're following the leads, and I see that there's somebody with a flashlight pointing the flashlight to the links in the chain. And they're like, and then they're like, "What are you looking at me? I'm here all the time." Suddenly, they like to investigate me because I rush. And then they're like, it shows me
Yes.
they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. Putin's uncomfortable with now we have, now they're looking, they have a magnifying glass on us because of Russia. It's not right. It's not right. We had all these years that nobody looking at us. Now, suddenly, get investigated, suddenly come police. What is happening here? So, okay,
I'm I'm laughing because you're getting my hit because it's like that's exactly what just came through with you. They're all of a sudden they're looking. Not all of a sudden they're looking. That's not what I meant to say. All of a sudden they're arresting. So they've never done that. They've been watching these people.
Mm-hmm.
And so these little arrests are being made.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Which
So,
weren't made before.
mm-hmm.
They were watching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden they're arresting.
Wow, interesting. So,
Yeah, they weren't arresting before. So to me, that's just more movement behind the scenes.
right.
They're getting some of these links in the chain.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, interesting. No, really, it is interesting.
Yeah.
And that's right. And it's saying because really, guys, I really think that I don't think it's a controversial thing to say that if they were Muslim, do you think like the stuff that the Russians do here in this country, seriously,
Right.
they get away with everything, it seems like.
Everything.
If you put the standard that is placed on places, let's just say like people who are Muslim, let's just say it. They'd be like Guantanamo tomorrow. But it's like, oh no, they don't mean it. No, you're just friendly. They're a little angry. They're this, they're that. No, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of, but so it's right. We're finally waking up to this. Okay.
Yep.
So okay, now. So this is interesting because somebody sent me here this email today. I had seen the comments on and off mentioned. Because yesterday, as you all probably know, I talked about how this scenario I had seen as a vision that Biden could come to the country and explain what's going on and show things and such. And so this person said Biden can use the Presidential Emergency Act documents, which cannot be stopped by Congress or Supreme Court, because, and this is not, guys, I don't want to be negative or anything, okay, but it is what it is, right? That we know the situation is pretty serious, right? So if we're gonna have to rely on the traditional kind of like, oh, let's go to DOJ, let's go to this, let's go to that, right? It's kind of it's too late now. It's serious.
Yeah, we've already determined that's not going to work.
Okay, so here it is. Presidential Emergency Action Documents, PEADs, are executive orders, proclamations, and messages to Congress that are prepared in anticipation of a range of emergency scenarios so that they are ready to sign and put into effect the moment one of those scenarios comes to pass. First created during the Eisenhower administration, as part of a continuity of government plans in case of a nuclear attack, PEADs have since been expanded for use in other emergency situations where the normal operation of government is impaired. So PEADs are classified secret, and no PEAD has ever been declassified or leaked. How interesting. Indeed, it appears that they are not even subject to congressional oversight, although the law requires the executive branch to report even the most sensitive covert military and intelligence operations to at least some members of Congress. There's no such disclosure requirements for PEADs and no evidence that the documents have ever been shared with relevant congressional committees. So this makes a lot of sense, actually, because we know that obviously some people in Congress are very compromised. So let's look into this, right, Corina? Like, what is this? I guess, is this what, I mean, not that we have to have every detail, but I became interested in this.
Yes.
Right? Like, what do you think?
Just look into. Is this something he could use? Well, we know he can, but do you want to look at, is it something he could use or will he use?
No, let's say, is this something that's right? Just that, is this something that Biden could use, right?
Yeah.
Is this something that our PEAD something else? I see. Oh wow, interesting. You can see Eisenhower's face. Yeah. Go Biden. It's like, yes. Wow. And he's saying, I got tired of those damn Nazis. That's what we got them for. Yeah. Wait a minute, Biden. Those damn Nazis thinking they can take over the government. I don't know actually how Eisenhower spoke, but I'm getting kind of like our attitude, like, those damn Nazis think they can come over here and mess with our country. No. It's like he has this kind of swagger, I guess.
Yes.
Is what I'm getting. No, it's not how it works, sir. So that's right. I signed them into existence, I guess he's saying, because we needed to tell the country about all the dangers that were lurking in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He
Interesting.
could see it.
So that's right.
Yep.
I
He could
see
see
that
it ahead of time.
I see Eisenhower interesting. He's doing this. And
Mm-hmm.
I see also Joe Biden is doing this.
Yep.
And I see Ruth Bader Ginsburg also.
Mm-hmm. Everybody in that situation room.
You see it,
Yep.
Corina, tell me more, tell me more.
Yep. No, they're in that situation room right now. And I've always seen documents laid out along with the monitors. And I'm kind of getting like ding 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 documents.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that that's a high possibility because he doesn't have to invoke or ask. Because we all know our Supreme Court's compromised, our Congress is compromised. What good are they? So, between NATO and a document like that, Biden is fully covered.
Mm. And I see also that they're saying that I'm getting here that Biden, the situation is so dire. This is the wording here, that we can't alert the country that something could be done. He can only alert the country when something has been done.
Right.
So that's why. So he's only going to he's going to make it public only after something has been done about it. Because
Yes.
it's saying it's interesting. It reminds me of something that one of the pieces of news that was out about Mark Rutte today in the Financial Times. He said clearly, Ukraine does not need more ideas, it needs weapons. And that is the same thing I'm getting here from Biden, in the sense that we don't need to have more discussions about what we should or could do. We have to do something now.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So that's why it's so, wow.
Yeah. And, he is feeling the intensity because he's used to dealing with these guys like Lindsey Graham. They're such a joke at this point, people like that. But he's been around them for a long time. He's been there, done that. But the guys that they're talking about, putting in there, Trump's team, it horrifies him. Absolutely horrifies him. Absolutely. Like, there is no other word that I get than horror. And he is like, no, there is no way he's handing there's no way he's handing the presidency over to this guy. There's no way.
Wow. Okay. So wow. So that's it. Oh, and I have to share this because I'm getting it strongly saying that it keeps telling me December 12th, day of action. I don't know. December 12th, day of action. I don't know. It's just, again, but the dates, guys, take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so much going on around those dates that it can be anything and anytime. Yeah.
But I really do get a good feeling, just to, I guess, reassure people. It feels very controlled and very, like he's in charge and we don't have anything, we get out of this unscathed.
Yes.
It kind of is controlled.
Right. I absolutely, it's the total opposite of chaos. I mean, it may feel like it when it's happening. Excuse me. I didn't want to cough. I had to take a drink. It may feel like that as it's happening, but it is very controlled, very precise. They have their maps. They know exactly what to do. Countries are coordinating. He even said that. He said, we're sharing intelligence. We're sharing more intelligence, he said. So they are all privy to the information when it happens. They have to be. It does have to be a coordinated event.
Wow. Yes. So very good, Corina. So but this is right. This is let's see. I think that's the last piece. Yes. Okay. Of today's. Okay. So let's see. Anything else that you would like to add, or I think we're done for today.
No, I think we're good. I think we're getting close. Lots of good news coming out.
Cool. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pause the recording and have a good day. Have a good evening, guys. See you tomorrow.